It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back and welcome to our first Hot Messy Topics in my new studio. All right, guys. So seriously, we have a lot of fun Hot Messy Topics for you tonight. I already pinned the message at the top of the live chat that says click this link to call in. So if you guys want to call in, just click that link. And don't forget, it's a subscribers only live chat. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to smash that like button. And let's welcome Jason.
Hi.
Hey. Oh my gosh. There's a lot.
There is a lot. There's always there's not always a lot, but tonight there's quite a bit.
All right. Well, we already have a few of my favorite people in the room. We have Kimpire and Janelle. All right. We haven't had Kimpire on a Hot Messy Topics in quite some time.
I know. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. No, and it's always so crazy. I feel like we're all just like pumping out content that it's like we're trying to hit different. It's crazy. Anyways, all right, guys. So we have a lot of different topics to go over tonight. We're going to talk about Gizelle shading the producers. We're going to give a little bit of an update, which I'm glad Kimpire is here because we're going to talk about all the backlash Kylie Jenner is getting after posting the ambulances from the Astroworld tragedy. We're also going to talk about Dorit and PK threatening to sue, Robin and her producer fiasco, and another update on Erika. This is a lot.
Another update on Erika.
What
could possibly be the update? She's not returning because that would be the best update possible.
Okay.
But we did see that cast kind of picture today when they were in Palm Springs.
Right.
With the new girl. Sanella, thank you.
Yeah.
And Teddy wasn't in that picture, which was great because we've seen Teddy like lurking around Palm Springs a bit.
I don't want to see any more of Teddy.
No, we don't.
No, and she dyed her hair. She looks like Kyle 2.0. Have you seen that meme?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So guys, we're 2 minutes in, 150 in the room. I want to start with the Dorit and PK stuff just because I want to get this out of the way. All right, Dorit and PK. So PK is doxing a blogger and threatens legal action and is accusing the woman of abusing his family and spreading lies. And Dorit's also reacting to what he has to say. So this was interesting to me, and this came from Reality Blurb. He actually wrote, because he always names the See You Next Tuesday of the week, and he actually wrote, this total nut job who runs the Insta and Twitter, My Feet on Fleek, is in fact a PR consultant by the name of, and he redacted the name, and then he named her company, Whatever Communications, and then he also redacted that, and he said that they're based right there in LA. He said, I do not know her, have never met her, and indeed, nor has my wife. She is also behind the other harassment hater sites with such pleasant names as Karen Huger's Mole, Brielle's Blowjobs, and of course, My Feet on Fleek. He said, now she has been abusing my family, spreading lies and defamatory remarks for years. Turns out she's been doing it to many other public people, all anonymously, whilst mostly on Twitter, but more often than not repeated on Instagram. Many of these other celebrities I know personally, and some have reached out to me telling me of their own anxieties caused by her. And then he said he is going to take legal action, and either she is going to shut down all of her social media sites and back off and issue a public apology, or he's going to sue her.
Well, my thoughts on this is like, okay, when you're a celebrity or you're someone on a huge platform, you are going to be scrutinized. I mean, that is just this day and age, you know, and it feels like, see, I've met PK a couple of times just at Pump and through my friend. He seems like a lovely guy. I don't know why this See You Next Tuesday thing is going on. It
really is trashy.
Can you imagine if Kim Kardashian or Kris Jenner or everyone reacted to everything that someone said? It's just not possible. It's people have opinions. But yet again, you put yourself on this platform. You choose to do this. It brings a lot of great benefits, but it also brings a lot of criticism.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. And, you know, not only, I mean, I understand. So I didn't get to this part. The blogger said that this whole home invasion situation, the blogger is accusing them of a total scam. And he's saying that this is hurtful. Now you're harassing my family. And we are seeing right now where Cardi B just pushed back her lawsuit with Tasha K. Tasha K said Cardi B had, well, you know, the H word. And when she did, she also called her a woman who hooks up for money. I'm trying to be careful of what words I use so I don't get flagged. And a few other names, and said that she was taking illegal substances. So now they're in a $3 million battle in court. It just got pushed back, but Tasha K has footage from Love and Hip Hop showing where she does admit that she, allegedly admits that she used to kind of hook up and do things that she wanted to for people to help pay for her. And then also she did admit to allegedly doing substances. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring up some callers because I'm curious if the blogger should be, I guess, in this legal drama at all, or if no, because you're a public figure. I am curious. It makes you think too what you can and can't say, because you never know. People will come out of the woodworks for you. Hi, Janelle.
Hi.
Hey, Kempire.
Hey. Hi.
All right.
You guys are matching. Like, I feel like.
Sweater?
What was that?
Is that a Christmas sweater, Empire?
No, it's just a regular sweater. There's no.
Oh, I said the same thing.
It looks very festive.
Yeah, it does look festive, doesn't it?
Oh, I love it. You like in here, it feels like a very like dark like Star Trek set, but when you walk into our living room, it feels like you're at some Galleria mall with like Christmas jazz is playing. Our crap is already up. It's like
everything's out.
I'm so coming to visit because we see each other.
I think we actually I think we decorated before Halloween was over, just to be fair. Which is probably
we waited till after. We waited till after. It gets earlier every year.
You're trying to save face, but I think we actually did it before. But anyways, getting back to it, Janelle and Kempire, I want to ask you both the same thing. Kempire, I'll start with you. What do you think about PK threatening to sue the blogger unless she shuts down all of her social media, the way that she makes money, unless she shuts all of this down and issues an apology?
Look, as Jason was saying, it's there, especially because of what we do. There's a very thin line, and we also have to remember freedom of speech. I know there are a lot of people that take advantage of that and are abusive of that. However, I don't like the fact that he's making those types of threats. And if he was to get away with it, then what are we going to do? What if we say something that someone doesn't like? So I don't know if he'll be able to get away with that, but I just don't like the threats of that. And we've heard that before from other people.
Right. And to be fair, too, Emily D. Baker said this. I'm always quoting Emily D. Baker, but she is the one who said it's really, yeah, she's amazing. But she is the one who said it's really hard when you're a public figure to sue somebody for defamatory.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it. I mean,
legal
defamation.
Not worth it. It's a lot of money for something that you might not win. More than likely will not win.
Somebody, by the way, commented on my channel the other day and said, you and Kempire and Jason and everybody have karma coming from Erika because she has all of your names on her list. And I was like, well, if it's not in the list, it is in the lawsuit. So you can check it there or here. I don't know which one, but
I only want to be on two lists. I want to be on the list of
the Kardashians' Christmas Eve party.
No.
I was gonna say Michael B. Jordan's list, but that's a whole different thing. And
okay, Janelle, you didn't answer this because I haven't asked you yet. What do you think about this? Do you think do you get where Kempire and I are coming from with our concerns? Like, does this mean that you could easily be in the line of fire, or do you where are you swaying?
My whole thing is this: when you decide to put yourself out there, and I may come back and eat my words at a later time, but when you put yourself out there, you do become a target for people to have an opinion about you. And the thing is that if they are not saying anything defamatory, derogatory about you, but they're literally just commenting on what they see on whatever show or whatever entity you're on, then it's fair game. And then that's when you either have to turn a blind eye or make a lawsuit, and then maybe you win or lose. But I think, but people have to understand, in the US of A, we have that First Amendment right. Yeah. There was a lot of people for like the last 5 years who were saying crazy ass shit, but they never got in trouble for it because of that First Amendment right. So the thing is that, you know, either we change the First Amendment, which will never happen. Oh, well, if I hope not. Oh, Lord. But
welcome to Gilead.
Right? Like oh my God, I was telling somebody, I was like, I would be the worst handmaid. Oh no.
But don't you think so too? Oh God. But don't you think so too? Don't you think that, you know, there has to be a certain ground? Like if this woman, this blogger, is claiming out there on all of her platforms that this whole thing was a scam, not saying allegedly, not saying I think it's a scam, but no, it's a scam. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is pretty reckless of the blogger. That is very
reckless. I mean, if Wendy Williams says allegedly she talks about a story, then so can you. So I mean, I'm not any of the three of y'all. And every time I talk about anybody, I always say allegedly.
Right.
And it's not my channel, but I say allegedly because you just never know.
Yeah.
So unless you have like a receipt as long as my paper towel, okay, then you better say allegedly. Okay. If you got audio the length of Candace's album, then you better say allegedly. I saw him. Okay.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay. All right. Janelle, stick around. I'm gonna drop you down and I'll bring you back up.
Yes. Oh, and tonight, y'all, I'm enjoying my lemonade and rum.
The lemonade and rum concoction again. I love it.
Yes.
I'm on Kimpire's grind over here with the purely water. It's been so fun.
Are you just drinking no alcohol, no wine?
No, I've been doing this for 2 weeks now. I'm doing it for a month.
How do you feel?
Great. I've lost 10 pounds. My skin is clearing up. I feel good.
I'll be like that in January. I always do what they call a dry January. So
no. I'm doing it now. That way I can get shit faced in January. But thanks. I'm just kidding. So now we'll bring you back up.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I just want to point out in regards to this PK story, we have become public figures by doing what we do. And I'm sure if you go, I normally do not go through the comment section backstage of my YouTube, not religiously, because you will need therapy if you do. And just the fact that I did it yesterday, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I can't. And I've said this to you, Adam. I was like, you can't read the comments. You can't. I mean, but the thing is, you always miss out on so many great comments too if you don't.
Right.
That's true too.
It's a hard balance. You know, Jason used to always help me out with my comments a lot, and then he would like read them to me. And while we were doing it, was great to multitask, but now Jason's gotten busy with his channel as well. And I think honestly, I'm probably getting anywhere from like 800 to 1500 comments a day. And it's so hard. And I have YouTube. I don't have YouTube people messaging me on YouTube, TikTok, my podcast. Like, it's so hard to keep up with, and I try my best. And then people will get me in the live chat and they're like, Adam, you're a piece of shit because you don't answer your comment. And I'm like, wait, hold on. It's crazy over here. It's mayhem. I asked Empire. I'm so bad about even calling or texting back. I'm the worst. Ask Jason. Anyways, let's continue on and bring up our next caller. I am so curious. I want to pick some brains here. Hi, Bad and Bougie.
Hey.
Oh, I think you're muted.
You're muted.
I always do that.
Hi, there you are.
Hi,
Hey.
Jason. Kim.
Hi.
All right. So Bad and Bougie, happy Monday.
Thank you. Happy Monday to you. I don't have a drink yet. It's only 3:00. I got to wait a couple more hours, but I will be.
Oh, that is like the green light for me. 3.
Oh, okay. 11 a.m. is the green light for you. We went out on Saturday, and I said to Jason, I'm going to get a water. He's like, can I get 2 mimosas? I said, oh, that's nice. Or what are we cheersing to? He's like, no, I meant for me.
These are for me. And I'll have to wait for the waitress to come back. Just get 2 at once.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, this is...
Empire.
We're going to record Jason. Kimfire's like to each their own. All right, Bad and Bougie, I want to ask you the same question about Dorit in this PK situation with the blogger. The blogger is not using the word allegedly and saying that this whole thing is a scam. Even when we were talking about it and you had your doubts, you didn't even use the wrong word. So do you think maybe this should be grounds to sue if you're going to be that reckless? Or do you think, no, she deserves a pass?
Okay. So I don't think that the lawsuit would hold up. You know, I do think it's irresponsible to, like, you know, how when I was speaking about it, I said I definitely have red flags, but I can't say it's a scam because, I mean, it's nothing for us to, we haven't seen any evidence of that yet.
Right.
So I don't think that whoever this lady is, whatever she's doing, I don't think she's right, but I just think, one, I think PK is blowing hot air. 2, even if say he did, you know, get an attorney and, you know, file a suit. I just don't know how far it would go, you know, if he would actually, you know, I don't think he can make them shut down all their internet presence or what have you.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Well, they could technically, if they did it through the courts as some sort of agreement.
Doesn't PK have enough cases to worry about and things to worry about?
but no, I mean, because if you send somebody a cease and desist, I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know like how far that's going to be, because all that person's going to do is come back and say, well, that was my opinion and I can have my opinion, you know? So I don't know if he's going to really win some monetary damages, or whether he's going to be able to make the person shut down their whole, you know, presence.
Right.
I just don't see that happening. But I do think that the person is going too far if they're just straight out saying, hey, it's a scam.
Okay. And
we don't know yet.
One last question for you about this before we move on to the next topic. What are your thoughts about, do you think it looks bad on Dorit, the fact that PK is having fun with this, hey guys, this is my see you next Tuesday of the week. Like this is.
I do, because first of all, I didn't even know men said that. That's such a derogatory thing. Like, I've heard women do it, but for a man to be doing that, I don't think it's a good look. And then he's supposedly a businessman, and he talked about how Erika Jayne shouldn't do certain things for business reasons and how you look to the world. So I just think it's lame, and it's kind of classless. And he should, you know, there's, you know, supposed to be so, you know, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So yeah, it doesn't make Dorit look good. She's already, like Jason said, they've already got a handful of lawsuits going on right now. So I think that PK has to learn to do what we all do, is just ignore it and let it die down and go away. When the facts come out, it'll be one way or the other. But when, you know, and then too, you know, on the Housewives franchises, when people start being really litigious and wanting to sue for everything, the production kind of backs off, like, I don't want him, you know what I'm saying, doing this or that on the show. So yeah, I don't think it is a good look for Dorit at all. Okay. All right, Bad and Bougie, stick around. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down, and then I'll bring you right back up for our next And I won't be muted this time.
All right. Hey. No, we appreciate you all the time. Thank you. All right, so I want to get into this next topic, guys. I always appreciate some great callers, and I also see Donabelle and Nicole and also Peter. Guys, I'll bring you up as well. I want to move on to this next topic, and I'm so glad that Kempire is here, because I heard about it over the weekend, and I was trying to keep off of YouTube and keep in the thick of it. I'm obsessed. If anybody watches my channel, you guys know I love the Kardashians just because of how they do business. It's not so much so I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that fake ass. I love that. It's more so like, oh, wow. She's making $1 million, like $1 million every hour. So she sleeps for 8 hours. She just made $8 million. That shit blows my mind. So the business part of it, I'm fascinated by. But we all know that Travis Scott had his Astroworld Music Festival in Houston. And when he did, 8 people were pronounced dead. I don't want to give the, how many injured, Kempire?
Oh my gosh, they said there were 11 in cardiac arrest. Multiple people were injured. So many different stories came out this weekend, personal stories that I got to read. And some of them I read live just because I felt it was necessary that people understood that all the misinformation that was going around about what really went down. But there is some breaking news in regards to this story. And I'm saying this first here on your channel, is that according to TMZ, Travis Barker, they're saying a close insider to TMZ, you know, this is the Kardashians feeding the information to TMZ, is that he's going to pay for all of the people that died from this Astroworld Festival and anyone else that might end up dying from, because we still have people that are in the hospital, even a 10-year-old that was in critical condition.
Wow. Wow. So do we know, because here's one of the photos from the Astroworld Music Festival, but do we know what prompted everyone to panic the way they did?
Say it one more time.
What prompted like the panic for everyone to start running each other over? And
well, basically what I'm hearing is that even from the morning, they had an issue with security and overcrowding, people breaking through security. It was just way too many people. And then once the show started, what people are describing is that they were being pushed towards the stage. So I guess people are trying to make it towards the stage. So it was just sort of like a stampede. So I don't know if it was just not enough security, not enough, medical personnel there as well, because they're supposed to have that as well in case of something like this.
Right.
So it just seems as if everyone was just out of control at this event.
Okay, well,
sometimes these festivals, they don't have very strategic organization. It seems like even down to Coachella, I think is the most probably organized that I can think of, but a lot of them are so disorganized, and it's hard to believe we're still in the middle of a pandemic too, and you have crowds like this.
People are offended when I say this, but it's a fact. Every state handles this very differently, and Texas has handled this very differently. So I wasn't surprised. But people have called into my channel and have said, well, there are parts of the United States that are having festivals bigger than 50,000 people, and that's approximately how many people are at the Astroworld Festival.
Jesus. Jeez. Okay. Well, as we know, Kylie Jenner did issue an apology, and she said, "Travis and I are broken and devastated. My thoughts and prayers are with all who lost their lives, were injured, or affected in any way by yesterday's events. And also for Travis, who I know cares deeply for his fans and the Houston community. I want to make it clear we weren't aware of any fatalities until the news came out after the show, and in no world would have continued filming or performing. I'm sending my deepest condolences to all the families during this difficult time, and we'll be praying for the healing of everyone who was affected."
It was crazy to watch. I think I was on TikTok. You saw some of the people like climb up to where the cameramen were or the spotlights or something and try to, let them know that things are happening. And it makes me never want to go to one of these things.
Well, and it is kind of mind blowing too, because I understand where Kempire is coming from. If you talk about this online, then you're going to hear people say, well, there's football games, there's other concerts. We just had award shows. Like, what are you talking about? Even though an award show definitely is nothing close to a music festival, but you always will get some sort of, it'll be divided. People will be like, yes, Kempire, that's exactly right. Like, you shouldn't be at these festivals. And then the other people are going to be like, well, there's other things going on. So it's like, you can't really win this. But we do know one of the people who was injured at Astroworld is already suing Travis Scott. But at the same time, Ariana Grande did the same thing. When she had the bomb go off at her concert, I believe she also paid for a bunch of the victims.
And a lot of people are talking about the timing of it. They were saying, first of all, they were critical of the video that Travis Scott posted on his Instagram story, saying that he seemed insincere. And Roddy Ricch, who also performed at this festival the same night, posted early on that he was going to help pay for the funerals of the victims of this tragedy. So a lot of people are questioning the timing, how long it took for him to release that he was going to do this. And mind you, he didn't say that he was going to do this. TMZ's reporting this, that they have a close insider. And as I said to you before, the close insider, more than likely, allegedly, is Kris Jenner.
I would assume.
I mean, I would assume that too. And, there was a lot of backlash for Kylie after she put out that apology, because she posted on her Instagram videos of the ambulance, and they like Stormy just said in the chat, people were sitting there freaking out in panic, and Travis kept performing. But I don't know if he could see. Honestly, in my mind, I'm thinking, could he actually see what was going on? I feel like had he have actually, or am I wrong? I mean, I saw the video, but like with the lights and everything, is he processing or is it adrenaline?
They did say, according to some reports, at one point he did stop the show because of someone that he saw that was in distress in the audience. But there are a lot of other people that are reporting that when they saw the ambulance in the crowd, at one point he said F them and started, keep going with the show. But also there were other stories that came out that from 2018, he was charged for inciting a riot at one of his shows. And then a previous two years before that, he was cited for that as well. So people don't like the fact that I bring that up, but it's necessary when you see a situation like this and people are blaming him. I don't think he is the only one to blame here. We have to look at the people that organized this festival.
Right.
And look at the actual venue as well. They are the biggest responsible for that.
Right. Someone said in the chat there wasn't enough exits either.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was a disaster. And I've heard from other people that have attended Astroworld in the past, says that, this was almost inevitable.
Okay. All right. I'm going to bring up another opinion and see what everyone else thinks about this. Hi, Donna.
Hi. Happy Monday, guys.
Happy
Monday.
Monday, Donna.
Background. Thank you, Jason. Adam's background is amazing.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm change it up.
I'm not a big Kardashian fan. I will say that I feel so bad. Any concert can get out of hand like that, but it's the venue. I don't know. And like you said, I've been with my friends in bands on stage, the lights and things, it gets distorted from stage. So I don't know what he saw. I just feel bad for everybody involved. There are also rumors about, people going around being pricked with things and just, it's just horrible. But financially speaking, that venue, I hope their insurance company doesn't drop them, because that's a lot. And exit, security, safety, all those type of things, that's what Travis signed on for. That's what he, as an organization, to do that's what he signed on for. I'm sure, I work corporate insurances. I'm sure many insurances are going to be involved in that. But I think the venue, like you said, Kempire, is the biggest. I wanted to comment on PK trying to stay relevant.
Oh gosh, here, let us have it, Donna. Let us have it.
I am just so over Dorito, and he made it worse. The only time I like PK is when he's high with Mario. Like, I want Dorit off the show, but Mario and PK going out to get high and hanging out, that I'm down for. In regards, you guys were speaking about the blogger, and should they have said allegedly? It's possible, but I just don't see a court especially in California, pushing that through. I just don't. I mean, PK is just trying to be in the news today so everybody can get off to read, I guess. But yeah, it looks sketchy. Teddy's husband looks sketchy. I don't know if it's him, friends of the business, ex-employees, but you're all connected somehow. It's just convenient. Anybody who has, if they didn't change their insurance from Kyle's burglary, you guys want it to be relevant.
Okay, hold on.
I also wanted to say that at least, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dorit had a police report. Erika, with all these cars rolling over, no police reports, y'all, seriously?
Okay, no, that's fair. And also, since we're talking about the blogger too, Kemper, I didn't even think about this, but Cynthia Bailey's husband is being accused of cheating on Snapchat. So if someone is accusing you and you're a public figure, does that make it okay? Because we see stuff in the tabloids all the time, like Kim Kardashian's marrying her ex-stepbrother. And it's like, what? You can't say that.
When you're in a public place, I mean, any crazy can say anything. That's why I think it's like kind of like you're a public figure. You know, like you said, you put yourself out there, so anything is possible. If I were Mike Hill, I'd shut up, because that girl looked like she has receipts.
Cynthia cannot catch a break.
Leave it alone.
She cannot catch a break at all.
I know. I love Cynthia, and she just wants love.
That person though has taken down her receipts. So maybe she's been threatened with legal action, and sometimes that's
again. I work for defense attorneys, or for her own protection, shut up and keep the receipts. Let them keep talking. It'll all come out in court.
Yeah, but sometimes too, I agree with that, Kempire, because sometimes when people say, keep running your mouth, I'm going to sue you, that hits everyone differently. Like if you haven't been sued, I would be afraid of that. I would be like, okay. But then sometimes I see other YouTubers who go on and they get cease and desists over putting out stuff in blogs. And they're like, bring it. You have a lawyer, I have a lawyer too. But I just, I guess everyone takes it differently.
Yeah.
I'm thinking she has some type of attorney. Thinking she has some type of attorney, because I've worked in law for 40 years, and NDA wouldn't frighten me. But that's me personally. The average, I'm over 50, younger person that may, but I'm feeling she has an attorney a lot of times if you have an attorney and listen to them, they tell you to shut up.
Yeah. I agree with that. All right, Donna, thank you so much for calling in. I'm going to bring you back up, but I'm going to start rotating callers.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, Donna.
Adam, I did want to add one part to the story, because you asked, what really may have sparked the mayhem at Astroworld Fest. There was a confirmation from the Houston PD that a security guard was stuck in the neck with a syringe, and he passed out and was revived with Narcan. So there was questions about people being, attacked with needles and things like that. And according to sources that have reached out to me about it, they were saying that they're thinking it was possibly fentanyl that was involved as well.
Jeez.
Yeah, so a little scary. And I remember quite a few years ago, here in New York, I was at the Halloween parade, and it was very much like that, where people were just like a pool of people just pushing you. That was scary in itself. So I can only imagine what these people went through.
The only thing I could compare it to is the Macy's Day Parade in New York. That's what I would think of. Like, I mean, I don't think I've really been to a whole lot of concerts, but it is crazy. You know, I had a friend, like, I've never been to a music festival. I had a friend one time, her name was Emily. I worked with her at Ruby Tuesdays when I was in college, and she came back from a music festival and she had different colored polka dots all over her because they were playing that right hand red, left hand blue, but it was all over her body. Her hair was a mess, and she perma-tripped, which I didn't even know that was a real thing. She took so many mushrooms that she was caught for the rest of her life. She's stuck in this. Every once in a while, she'll see like little things pop up and creatures, and she's now in a perma-trip from it. I'm like, you guys can keep that. I'm good. Nope. No.
I'm not good.
Yeah, no.
Y'all just want to keep me in the house. Y'all just want me never to leave this house.
No, thank you.
All right, so we're gonna bring up another caller on this. I'm curious. Let's see. Yes, it's me, Tools. Tools.
Y'all just want to keep me in the house.
Tools, do you have your audio on?
I'm
gonna drop you down for 1 second. Tools, you have your audio on your computer. You're gonna have to shut that down.
No, it's just you have a tab open.
Oh, you have a tab open. So we'll bring you back up. I'm gonna bring up. Oh, nope, not the bagel. Okay. All right. We're going to keep rotating callers. Let's see what Janelle has to say about this. Hi, Janelle.
I'm just laughing like about Travis Scott or about the blogger.
No, I'm curious about Travis Scott. We already talked about the blogger.
I actually tweeted about this morning because a friend of mine from back home retweeted that people were, I don't want to use, what's the best word? They were judging the families for going to lawyers about this whole incident.
Why would you judge a family for that? I would go to a lawyer.
Right. And so I wrote on Twitter saying, because my dad is an insurance agent, and I just I've known from a very young age that, you know, one of the first things that he did for my brother and I is that he got his life insurance policies, because you just never know what may happen.
Right.
And when I was born, when my brother was a toddler and when I was born, he was starting his business, and so he got everybody insured. And because you just don't know what life will dish at you. I don't think those people went to the concert expecting to die.
Right.
We went there to have a good time, and I think that people need to be. I think people on Twitter, especially in social media, just need to give those people a lot more grace, because I was seeing some nasty comments, and and coming from like the business side of it, I already know how much it costs to have a funeral, how much it costs to deal with any other death related costs on top of the emotional grief. And so I wrote on Twitter, I was like, you all do not know how much it costs for just to have a funeral, whether it's a cremation, whether you decide to get a casket and bury that person in a proper grave, and just to get a headstone. It's a lot of money. That's why they're always running deals at Costco for caskets.
Oh my Lord.
Yes, honey child.
What?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Costco.
You get everything at Costco.
Literally.
Caskets? What aisle is that on?
Wait, I have to say, one of the young women that passed away, one of the victims, the family already has a GoFundMe. You know, people don't prepare for things like this, and they don't have life insurance. And to me, and I see a lot of people saying in the comments, they should go to an attorney. They have to protect themselves, and they can't waste any time.
Listen, I know this is some Florida shit, but I've heard of a woman suing Subway because a foot long was only 11 and a half inches. And she won $1 million. And then I heard of another woman breaking into a house, getting busted because the homeowner was in the house, and she slipped and fell and sued the homeowner and won that too. So I've heard of some crazy ass lawsuits.
Right. Well, I also have a Florida story to add to that. My dad knew of somebody who was driving an RV, and she thought that autopilot meant that the RV can drive itself. And so she put it on autopilot and went in the back to make a sandwich, and then the RV crashed, and she won the lawsuit against the RV company. When my dad told me that story as a kid, I really thought he was just like, you know, this is.
Was it in Florida?
It was, of course, it was in Florida.
Of course it was in Florida.
It always happens in Florida.
It always happens in Florida. It's always
Exactly.
Florida.
But I mean, but on a serious note, I think people have to realize that you don't prepare for this, and yes, you do. That's why those type of lawyers, I don't know the name of their exact field, but that is why they're there for situations like this where it's a wrongful death. It was not intentional. It was by accident, and you cannot trust that the person or the entity at cause, because I think it's more so on the event production company and the venue than Travis Scott.
Right.
You cannot trust that they're going to do the right thing. So you then have to go to a lawyer to ensure, because I don't know if anyone has ever buried anybody recently, but like it's in the thousands, and
it's very expensive. We went through that with my dad, and we weren't prepared for that. So you can't. So when I was seeing on Twitter how people were judging other folks, I was like, y'all gotta pump your brakes. Like,
yeah, it's sad.
You don't know. Like right now, empathy is the key word. Like, lead with empathy. Like, I would not wish that on my worst enemy, and I don't like a lot of people, but I would not wish that onto them. Okay, like it's just a situation that no one wants to be in, and so if they go to a lawyer, that is their business, because they got it, because they want to give their family member who they loved and adored a proper burial and send them off to the right way, whether depending on what their belief system is.
Right.
There was a point where a lot of these families didn't know whether or not their child was one of the 8 victims. A lot of people were separated after this. They had hotlines out. And last night when I was reporting on the story, there was still one person unidentified.
Right. And also, when I saw his picture on Daily Mail, I saw the guy on the unidentified person. I was like, I don't want to see this, but I understand why they had to post it, because they were claiming his body. Oh. And there was also a video that went viral on Instagram of the people breaking down the fence barricade to get into the concert.
Yeah, and that was earlier in the day.
Right. And I remember when I went to a Lady Gaga concert in Orlando, and those people were ferocious. Because my friend who's on the shorter side, he wanted to be as close as possible to the front. And I'm 5'8", so like I had no issues, but he was only 5'5". And so we tried to get to the front as much as possible, and people were pushing us. Like they were just, and one girl I had to elbow. And I'm surprised I didn't get arrested for elbowing her. But I was like, if she did not back up off me, I was like, we're going to see Lady Gaga. She's not going anywhere. But like people were just so antsy to get as close as possible to the stage. And then my friend who's shorter than me was in front of me, and he was like, "Why are you pushing me?" I said, "Boo boo, do you think I'm really pushing you on purpose?" Shoot, I will put you on my shoulder.
I'm a campfire. I will sit my ass inside. I'm good.
Or go to
I'll watch it on TV.
Yeah, I would strictly go to a concert where there are seats and everyone has to be seated.
I want to go to wherever Bad and Bougie goes because she gets the box seats, and I'm good with that. But Janelle,
that's why her name is Bad and Bougie, because she don't play that ghetto shit. Okay,
Janelle, stick around. We're gonna bring you back up.
Okay, bye, y'all.
Bye. All right, I want to bring up another opinion because we have a lot of callers in the room. Let's see, Lisa Thames. I'm going to bring you up.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm so excited. This is my literal first time doing this, so I don't know if you can even see me.
Yes, we can see you. Hi, welcome.
Because I can't see you, and I just came back from the doctor, and literally, I was cracking up because you guys were talking about Costco, and literally, I was getting an X-ray. They're like, "Did you see her socks?" No, she's got Costco socks. No, did you see how thick they are? And I was cracking up because I wished I could join the conversation, but I have to say something.
Yes, go ahead.
If you look up my son, first of all, I've been in the business since I was 6 years old. I know, like you know how like through your journey you've met this threshold of people that like you go, oh my God, I know so many people, and like you don't mean that like obnoxiously. It's just that's what happened. You met them, and some you became friends with, some you stayed friends.
Oh,
Lisa?
She's gone.
Lisa, we lost you. Go ahead and call back in. Okay. Okay, well, that was good until it wasn't. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring up, we have a few other callers I'm going to bring up to talk about this, and then I want to move over to Potomac for 2 seconds. Let's bring up, hi, Audrey.
Hi.
How
Hey,
are
everyone.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. So really quickly about the Travis Scott situation. I've seen him twice. I have seen him at the United Center in Chicago, where I live, and I've seen him at where was it? I think it was at LA Live when he was like just starting out in Los Angeles, or like one of those. It was near the Staples Center.
Right.
But the first time I saw him, it was honestly like a really great experience. Like I really enjoyed seeing him. He had like he had like 2 mosh pits, and it was a really great time. You know, he was very respectful, making sure like the crowd had water, you know, really great. And then I believe it was 2-3 years ago when I saw him at Lollapalooza. Totally different situation. Oh, whoever said that, thank you. And I just remember like he had 2 stages at the United Center, and I remember when I walked in, I think I walked in maybe like 10 minutes before the set started, and the side that I was on was the first one that he performed on, and people were on both sides, but the second the music came down and the stage that I was next to lit up, everybody just started running over, and you just felt this massive push behind you, just gravitate you. And I want to say maybe like a good like 5-6 rows of people. I flung to the front. Like,
oh my gosh,
my whole body I couldn't even like I was wearing like sneakers, I think like Converse or Vans. My feet weren't even on the floor. And I'm like 5'5", 5'6". I could not stand on my own. And I was like pushing, like swimming through the crowd at a point. And like all I had on me was like my jacket, my pants, and my shirt. I could feel like my clothes being pulled off because of like the gravity of having to go through this crowd. And he did this insane like magic trick type of thing where like he walked under the stage and like went to the other side. So like the second that happened, you just felt it push again to the completely other side. And it just kept going like that. And it was so, oh my God, like just thinking about it right now is giving me trauma flashbacks. But it was just like an insane moment. And I was with all of my friends. I think I had maybe like 5 or 6 people. I was losing them left and right. And there was just massive clouds of smoke because people were smoking backwoods. They were smoking cigarettes or vapes. And you couldn't even see at one point because all there is just flashing lights and bodies. That's it.
Jesus.
God.
It was, oh my God. So like my heart goes out so heavy to those people because I understand the anxiety of being in that situation. It was so stressful beyond means. And I was like calling my brother after, like, oh my God, like I can't even express the heart attack I just had right now. Like I couldn't breathe at one point. I was like trying to swim to the side of the railings to hold on to something and like have something stable because nothing was calm. And then people were jumping up and down to the point where like you had no traction on the floor. Oh my God, like I could keep going on about how bad it was.
Jesus.
But it was just like it was like a 180, honestly. And I never wanted to go and see another show from him again because I was just so afraid of just even being
ago was this
close to the
concert?
stage.
How long ago was this concert?
I want to say it was in 2019, like very mid 2019. I want to say like February, March.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like right when
right before the pandemic.
Yeah, right before the pandemic. It was during the release of his last album. And I just oh my God, I just remember like just trauma, just all intense trauma from that situation.
It's just, yeah, this is
And
not
well,
Wow.
Audrey, thank you for sharing that story. We appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
And it was nice getting some insight.
Of
Well,
course,
I mean,
of course.
you know, as much as you could give without having you expose your traumatic experience.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I'm past it, I understand, but you know, it's still important to understand that like these things happen, and you know, like you have to learn and grow from these experiences and understand like sometimes you got to like take a pause and be like, okay, this isn't for me. Like I'm not this type of person who can, you know, last being in the middle of a concert for 2 hours plus where people are going back and forth and you really have no control of what's happening in your surroundings. You know, you're packed like sardines.
Yeah.
You're not comfortable at all. And some people love it and some people don't. And you just have to accept that you're just not one of those people.
Jeez. All right. Well, Audrey, thank you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you for
appreciate you sharing.
And
a lot of people in the room loved it. Thank you.
Of course. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, guys, I see it says someone is trying to enter the room. Studio is full at 12 people. I'm going to keep rotating callers, and I'm going to move on to the next topic. Wow, Campire and Jason, that was intense.
Yeah.
I've never been in something like that. Like, I don't know. I had this stepbrother at one point who was just, he wore the same, you know, all black clothes every day. He didn't wash them. He always listened to Metallica. He had like 50 piercings in his face. And he used to always say he would do crazy things and collected samurai swords. And he would always be like, come on, let's get in a mosh pit. I'm like, get away from me. I'm gay. I don't want to do that.
I mean, mosh pits have been around for decades. But to know that this happened just a couple of years ago, and that's, as I said to you before, he was charged for inciting chaos before. The fact that she can tell that story and say that happened, the only reason why we didn't hear about that story because there were no fatalities.
Right. Well, no, and that's true. And now, unfortunately, you have to get to a point where there is, you know, or where there are fatalities. And then once that happens, okay, now we're talking about it, but it's too late because there's 8 people who have already died. So, I mean, this is very different again. And I know I used a comparison earlier about Ariana Grande, but this is very different. This is like, hey, everybody, like, get into it, you know, mosh pit, whatever you do. And then at the Ariana Grande show, there was just a psychopath who decided to plant a bomb in the audience. So
sad.
Okay. All right. We're going to keep on moving with the topics, and then I will start bringing more people up. Guys, thank you so much. You guys are laughing at this stepbrother story. I know. Crazy. Okay. All right. So I do want to bring up 2 things and talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac, only because we've already seen the first part of the reunion. I feel like we've all covered it 500 times today.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question? I don't know. Someone in my chat earlier said that the first 3 parts of the reunion are available on Peacock. I haven't looked. Is that true?
I didn't check. I don't know.
Because I would love to watch them.
I mean, I'm curious. Like, some guys in the chat, let us know if part 2 and part 3 of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion are already on Peacock. I don't know why that would be true. Also,
I don't know why they would do that.
In the room. Can you guys either one person pop out and one person pop in? Because 666 is not a good number. All right, we'll keep it moving since we're talking about Real Housewives. It's like sitting on 666.
Oh,
we're gonna move to the Real Housewives of Potomac. All right, 665. Thanks, guys. I want to talk about Robin Dixon really quick because a few of us. I know. A few of us talked about this already, but
we're keeping her on the show by doing this. Just saying.
What'd you say?
We're keeping her on the show by doing this.
No, this is basic. This is basic. So I just want to pick both of your brains really quick about what the Housewives rules should and should not be. And we just found out an interesting tidbit today. Carol Radziwill said that all of the Real Housewives of New York, they start off making 60,000. Oh my God, with that photo, 60,000 per season for their first season. I mean,
that's my favorite look.
That's not as good as. I mean, that one's like you're making her look scary. Like
that's what you wore to watch What Happens Live.
I know, but why does she look like she's like in the ring?
Because that's the look that she gave on Watch What Happens.
Hey, she chose that.
Okay.
I did not alter it in any way.
Okay. Well, Robin was complaining, and it was in Dave Quinn's Not All Diamonds and Rosé in the book, because there was a moment in one of the earlier seasons where Ashley Darby brought up Juan Dixon's businesses and financial woes. Well, Robin got pissed off at the producers and was like, are you fucking kidding me? This was the one thing I didn't want to talk about. I told you guys and had this whole fallout over this. But what I'm not understanding is you're a housewife. How is anything off limits? And of course, Ashley Darby didn't know at the time, which wouldn't have made a difference, because had she have known that was off limits, she would have pressed even further. What is your no? Okay.
Where are you getting this? I love this.
Campire, I believe you talked about this as well. What are your thoughts about Robin and flipping out on the producers? Don't you think everything should be able to be on the table? I mean, if we're talking about Jen Shah's legal drama and her arrest, Teresa Giudice's arrest, Erika Girardi, what she can say about Tom Girardi.
We're talking about Mia's vajayjay, okay?
We're talking about Mia's vajayjay?
Whatever. Yes, that's what we spent 5 minutes on the
no, I know,
reunion talking about. Robin can give something.
Yeah, I mean, what do you give?
Look, and this is early on. And look, she's very protective of Juan. And I think because Juan also doesn't like to look a certain way on camera. And I think that's part of the reason why we're not getting a lot of Juan Dixon in the last couple of seasons. So I think she knew that he would be very upset about it. And I'm sure they've had arguments about it. Juan, he used to be, he still is a public figure. He was very popular in the NBA. So I think he doesn't like that narrative out there. And I think that's part of the reason why this season, when she brings up the fact that he wasn't there, for the kids when they were babies, he takes it very serious. I think he's very image conscious. So I think she knew that back then. And I believe it. If you look at some of the early footage of Robin, she was very, in your face.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. And something like we didn't like her then. So it wasn't working for her then. And it's not, I mean,
when someone in the chat says I'd rather bring Charisse back, it's bad. All right. So I think
I mean, you're not wrong on that
Robin,
one. You're not wrong.
yeah,
Charisse didn't bring us a lot either.
They better make some good decisions, Bravo, for once. But I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Well, I mean honestly, Kemper, do you think that she'll be back?
I've been advocating for her to, if she's going to come back, she comes back as a friend of. The rumor was before the season, the only reason why she was able to come back was because Monique quit. And that was another part of the story where people were saying, Monique was fired. No, we all knew Monique, they wanted Monique to come back. They wanted Monique and Candace to resolve their issues on camera.
Right.
But Monique was like, no, my family's more important. I'm not coming back. That saved Robin because they don't believe Robin's story, according to reports. They don't believe that she is giving us the full story, which when you rewind back to this story, they know that she's holding back, but they were like, you know what? We're producers. We're going to give you a narrative because you're not giving us anything. And this was
at least she's giving us a story.
I mean,
baby steps.
I would just give you a contract that says void.
Oh.
I mean, at this point, I hate to be like that. I'm not trying to get anybody to lose their job, but for Robin, I said the same thing about Teddy. I've said it a million times. It's okay. You seem like a great person off the show, but we don't want to see you on the show because you're not bringing anything. But I do want to bring, I want to bring up another caller. Before I do, it was interesting to me because I've heard a lot of Bravo celebrities who have had encounters with Gizelle Bryant, not with Gizelle Bryant, but with Ramona Singer. And Gizelle Bryant talks about her encounter. Now, I haven't heard one good encounter, not from Dolores, not from Teresa Giudice, not from Gizelle Bryant, not from Nene Leakes, not from Karen Huger. What?
Not from Ebony K. Williams, not from the crew member that filed a complaint against her.
I mean, this is like the never ending. It doesn't stop. But she said about the encounter, she said, we had an encounter. We were in the Hamptons. She tried to kick me out of a picture. It was very weird. I don't know her. I don't care to get to know her. I don't know what her issues are. But quite frankly, it's not any of my business. It doesn't affect me in any way. She is who she is. And I don't know who she is. I love the shade. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring up.
I'll tell you a little inside really quick. When I was working at Pump, I'll give you a little fun story. Whenever a housewife from a different franchise came in, Lisa was like, just keep her away. And Ramona was one of them. Leah Black, because she showed up all the time. And then Sonia Morgan was like, just
please. Ramona was trying to get to the table. Yeah.
Yes.
I remember that night.
Yes, we tried everything too. But at event, you can't avoid that. Okay, come on. If you're going to show up into your restaurant on a Friday night when housewives are in town for some kind of, I don't know what they do in LA every year with Andy before the baby shower, but there was something that went on every year that they would.
Could you imagine though, if Lisa was like, if she was like, it's me, Ramona, and she's like, darling, who are you? That would be hilarious. All right, well, let's go ahead and bring up a couple callers really quick. I'm going to bring up Jesse Firefay. Hi, Jesse.
You're muted.
Jesse, you're muted.
Hey guys, how you doing? Sorry about that.
No, you're all right.
Muting other windows, watching the episode here with Jen Shaw. Oh, I'm muted.
You're not muted.
All right.
There's a delay.
There is a delay. There we go. Or is that better now?
All right, Firefay, I'm going to drop you down and then just call back in. The link's pinned.
Okay.
All right, let me kick from the studio. Okay, let's bring up Tools and see if Tools' audio is back. Hi, Tools.
Hey, Tools.
Hi, I'm sorry.
No,
about
you're okay.
earlier.
We know it's late there.
It is quite late, but I
love your
have
lamps.
no excuses for audio.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we've talked about Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. We've also talked about PK and Dorit. We've talked a little bit about the Real Housewives of Potomac. What are you calling to chime in on? Because I know you've been around.
I'm gonna keep it current because you are spearheading this show. I'm going to speak about Potomac. I do have opinions about the rest, but I'm going to march on. Potomac was really good. I do love the first interaction of the ladies. They brought it, and Potomac was that girl this season. I think it with Beverly Hills, I think they had really amazing seasons. Now, my question to you guys is, do you think Nicki Minaj was brought in as a celebrity host because Andy can't ask certain questions to the housewives because he was under fire for last year for not asking the hard questions to Monique and the other
I mean, he just asked Mia about her lady part, so I feel like you can, at that point, once you cross that line, you can almost say, no, I think she was brought in because I think for the network, I mean, Potomac already had killer ratings compared to the rest of the franchises, but I think for the network, once she put it out on social media, like let me host, they thought it would be a fun sort of gimmicky thing to do to bring her on and surprise everyone. And I also feel like she's obviously going to have a different approach. Like Nicki Minaj doesn't give a shit. She can come on, she can ask whatever she wants, she can say whatever she wants, and she's like,
I know, but she can also give an opinion without having an effect. Whereas, like, if Andy gives, an opinion that's like too much, everyone's going to come after him. But if Nicki Minaj does it, is it okay?
Yeah. Well, it will be okay because she won't get
we
fired.
need to host. I don't know why my brain is like functioning this way. I swear I haven't even had that much wine. But I want to see like Sean Robinson come over from TLC and just start hosting these.
No. No. Oh my gosh. We can find so many other people. Sean Robinson's great for TLC.
She's so bored
like
on TLC though. She's doing a reunion a week with all these 90-day shows they have out.
Yeah, but listen, she's getting paid damn good, I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah, she's the only one getting paid.
She's good. She's good. But no, I mean, honestly, I've never thought about that. But if someone could replace Andy Cohen, at first it was Kathy. Who was that one? Who is the redheaded comedian?
Kathy Griffin?
Kathy Griffin. Yeah, she was the one who originally was supposed to have Watch What Happens Live, and then she got the boot, and then she did an interview trashing Andy Cohen and said, who is one of the heads of the network and gives themselves their own talk show that has low ratings? And I was like, oh, well,
there's major drama there between Kathy Griffin and Andy Cohen. And it even spilled over into the New Year's Eve with, and allegedly Kathy Griffin was meant to be with, during New Year's Eve.
Hosting the ball drop?
I think so. I stand to be corrected.
Okay. No, I mean, honestly, I feel like, and I hate to say this, I think with the ratings, and we've talked about this here before, but I think with the ratings on Watch What Happens Live declining, I think with the franchises declining, obviously they're going to eventually have to start cutting costs. And if you're promoting a show that's not making a ton of money, that would be one of the first costs because, well, you're paying to have the show on the air, and then you're also paying for the talent. Andy's getting a nice thick check for doing that 5 times a week.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's like, I think eventually he will either age out or phase out. There's going to be a time. No, I don't mean it like.
I mean, come on. No.
I'm not like, I mean, Kempire, is that wrong? Age out or phase out? I mean, because think about it. He has a kid at home. He's probably wanting to start getting more involved.
I don't know if
it's not the, I mean, am I being an ass?
Andy looks a lot older than he is, though.
I think he's going to be forced out.
You think he's going to be forced out?
Yeah, because, we've been hearing the rumors about him being demoted. And I've said multiple times, the version of him being demoted won't be obvious to us. It will be obvious in the power that he yields at Bravo and at NBC Universal. He's yielded up a lot of power because the Real Housewives have made them millions. But with the ratings declining across the board, that's not good for him. And the ratings for Watch What Happens Live it's not great. And if YouTubers are getting more views than his show,
I was just gonna say, I think you guys combined, or not even combined, get more views than Watch What Happens Live.
Wow. Well, I know this news from Kim Parr's channel. That's where I know about Watch What Happens Live.
Oh God! I mean, it's literally it's literally a shit show. Coach G said Bethany actually would make a decent host if she could not get too absorbed in herself and start arguing with the women. I think that she would be an awful host. I think she's
she
great.
would be an awful. I love Bethany, but she would be horrible.
Yeah,
she would be horrible.
I mean,
they should hire you guys. Haha.
Great.
Austin will take it. No, she would be like, she would say, okay, Erika, so what happened with Tom? She'd be like, okay, well, Tom, he was in a car accident, left unconscious for 12 hours. And Bethany would be like, the fuck are you talking about 12 hours? Okay, so where is this? What is it? This doesn't make sense. Do you have the receipts? The police report? Who fucking loses the police report?
We don't need old housewives coming to host reunions. We need fresh faces, someone who can ask the questions, who really doesn't care. And he has friendships and relationships with these women. And I think sometimes he puts that kind of in his head when he goes out into these reunions and is very careful. Like, we saw him really go hard on Erika, but was it though?
Nope.
I don't know, because they're apparently really good friends.
Yeah. See, well, and then there's another problem. But okay, all right. Well, Tools, we appreciate you. Thank you for calling in. I know it's getting.
I love you guys.
We will see you soon. Tools, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, rosé.
Rosé.
Where are you calling from?
Rosé.
South Africa.
Oh, yay!
South Africa. What time is it there?
It's 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning.
Yes.
Tools, what time do you wake up?
6:30.
What?
So you just get to
I can't do that.
Rosé doesn't get you by 6:30 in the morning?
And well, I was watered down.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right, Jules. We're just picking on you. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow, and we hope you get some sleep.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Bye, Jules. All right. All right. I want to bring up a few other callers because I know that they're going to want to chime in on this. Hi, Bad and Bougie.
Hi. I'm not muted.
Hi, Judgy Justice.
Hey. Hi,
Oh, God.
Kimpy. Hi,
Kimpar?
Kimpy.
She said, hi, Kimpy.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, who is she talking? I didn't hear.
Oh.
I was like, don't act brand new. We know each other.
I was like, is he just ignoring the hell out of you right now? Or what's
I
going
know.
on?
My feelings are about to be hurt.
All right. So, Judgy Justice and Bad and Bougie, I'm going to ask you the same questions about Potomac. Actually, I want to get more into the idea of like, scrap Potomac. We're going to be talking about that so much. I'm so curious because Kelly Dodd mentioned on her podcast, she said, listen, the Housewives franchises are phasing out. But if you break the fourth wall, she said so much of the excitement is between the interactions of the producers and the talent because they argue back and forth so much. So if you start featuring that some more, she thinks that maybe the franchises could have a little bit more longevity. I agree with that, but I don't want to just give you my opinion. So I want to ask you first, Justice.
So I agree with that because I remember, I'm not sure which network I was watching, and I think it was like Lifetime or something. There was like a produced show that was similar to like Bachelors, but it was like you were watching it from the producer's perspective and how they produced that type of love show. And I really enjoyed that. So I think like something similar to it would be very helpful for them because again, we all like, the facade and the fantasy of it all has kind of already been shattered after like 15, 20 seasons of this stuff. So we already know what is going to happen. So it'd be good to see who these producers are, or even seeing some of this stuff like when it gets cut, like how do you know like how to get cut? So like some sort of, back office like insight would be helpful for them. And it would also be something different than anything else that's on TV right now because there's no other show that's doing that. So that
I
should
agree
give
with
them
that.
an edge that they could keep going for as long, because you can keep going, because then also there's producers. You can always like bring in different producers, all the time, because they're always trying to find, that right fit. So
Right.
that's my
Right.
opinion.
All right. Bad
I like that.
and Bougie, what do you think about that?
I think at this point you can't go nowhere but up. I mean, you might as well. I say go for it. They should go for it. And I think for Watch What Happens Live, they should just try out different hosts, like every week, have somebody different host every week, and then see who works. Because Andy's not working for me no more. I remember when it first came out, I used to like be ready, record it, and all that. And the other day, I had it recorded. I looked at some of, and I was just like, it's taking time off taking space off my damn recorder. Get him out.
We can't have him. We can't have him pick someone, because if he picks someone,
no,
it's just someone who's a fan, or an actress, or like Sarah Paulson when she comes on, or God, what's her name? I love her on Broadway. She's always there. Hoffman, the older lady. Is it Rachel Hoffman? I don't know.
I think it's Rachel Hoffman.
Yeah, but just like to give it like a fresh. We need someone kind of not so invested or involved.
And I was just going to piggyback off what you're saying, Jason, because I'm getting pretty pissed off at Andy Cohen. I used to be a big fan, but the way he treated Erika last week, and she was cursing at him and everything, and the way he treated Candace, I was like, the hell is going on? Like, it was totally different. Yes, I do think Candace, deserves some tough questions, but I mean, the way he, like, I guess, and it was something, I forgot who said it earlier about him having friendships with the ladies. They need to bring in someone who doesn't have personal relationships with the ladies, so people could get treated more fairly across the board, because it's too much of a difference. Like, I was like, wow.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
It's Jackie Hoffman.
Because the way he was coming at her and having these tough questions, and just like, kept drilling at her about it. It was very unfair, because we saw like Erika's behavior, and it's like, you didn't even ask. You could have even copied and pasted the same questions to Erika, and you didn't.
No, I see your point here, because so and not like someone needed to tell Candace that, because she needs to be told that a million times, but can you imagine Candace taking over the reunion like Erika did, where she started narrating it and then telling people to be quiet and chiming in when she wanted to, and then not saying anything when she wanted to?
She would get a lot of shit for it.
Candace would get a ton of shit for that.
Yeah.
But Erika over here took over the entire show, which this should have been a one-on-one. I think we all agree on that. And I'm still mad at Lisa Rinna for wearing that Flintstones-looking dress.
Honestly, though, that made me think about it for a second, because I'm wondering if there will come a point, and I'm not saying Dr. Wendy Osefo is doing the same thing Erika did, but talking about this in our recap earlier, if you noticed last night, Dr. Wendy Osefo was so quick, like she was ready to jump on all of the questions, but some of the questions weren't meant for her. So she would almost like start to answer and then realize, oh, okay, you said Gizelle. But I'm wondering, because you can tell she came with a mission. She has a point. She has her receipts. She wants that moment and she's waiting for it. And you can see how anxious she is. I'm wondering if eventually Andy's going to be like, I need you to calm down.
Did you agree with that seating arrangement on Potomac, by the way?
No.
I didn't understand it.
I didn't. Why was Wendy sitting right next to Andy?
I
think because there was
next to Andy, though. She needed to be sitting next to Andy. Look, none of them really had major storylines this season, but if we're talking about the major storyline of the season, was the Eddie rumors.
What you mean, Karen's vows?
Really?
I mean, that's a fair question.
Every year, they're always doing some sort of like renewal of their love every season. It was like the house, and then it was like, oh, he doesn't love me anymore. It was last season's story, and then now
he loves her.
Now love each other enough that you're going to use Bravo's check to help do a vow renewal. You could even tell by like the party guests, they're tired of going to their damn party,
especially in Sterling, Virginia.
Gosh. All right. I'm gonna somebody Pete just said Jerry O'Connell would be great for that spot. Jerry O'Connell is a huge Bravo super fan. What I was gonna say about Watch What Happens Live is I remember when it was like this and super fun, and there was a lot of like there used to be a lot more group moments. There's Jerry O'Connell right there in the middle. Speaking of Jerry O'Connell, though, he did just throw shade at Erika Girardi here recently. And he said something about, listen, look, Erika is a friend of all of ours, but I have to say Erika is coming off defensive. I still follow Erika on social media, and there seems to be some sort of disconnect between what we all know and what Erika is doing. Now, also, listen, Erika Jayne changed the game. He said Erika Jayne changed the game not only for housewives, but for unscripted fashion and paved the way for Dorit Kinsley. Thanks, Empire. Thanks, Empire. And then ended that off with, but I just feel like there's a disconnect happening here because there's not any mention of the victims. There's only mention of Erika. So I'm taking a little bit of an issue with that. Sorry, Erika. I don't think Jerry O'Connell should be the host for Watch What Happens Live.
He's busy.
I don't agree. I don't
He's
agree
on
either. I think there's so many more interesting people. I know Kempire always names a whole bunch, but I think there's so many interesting people across so many different platforms that have so much experience that would take this show to another level. And honestly, even like the games they play are not even the same fun shade because they used to have like fun shade related to the episode you just watched, you know? But now it's like they're trying to recycle all these old games. And also, who's still doing shot skis? Isn't it COVID?
I mean,
you saw him give the handkerchief.
Yes, they're still doing shot skis on it. I forgot who it was, but you know, it wasn't like Potomac ladies, but it was one of the other franchise. They were doing the shot ski. And I was like,
oh, it was Salt Lake.
Yeah, it probably was, but it was a while ago because I've done the same thing Bad and Bougie did. I don't record it anymore.
Nicole Ashley said, "Up and Adam, what about guest host Michael Rappaport? I think he's too controversial."
No.
I think that,
and he doesn't have that. Like everyone needs to like this person.
Yeah,
I feel like we all need to like that person, and it's not.
But we're forgetting a very important thing here. Andy Cohen is a diva. The reason why he gave himself his own show is because he wanted to be a star. And that's why the rumors of Nikki hosting the entire reunion, people are saying Andy is not going to give up that seat. Producers allegedly said that, according to Candace on her IG Live. So Andy's not giving up that.
According to who?
Exactly. So if anything, they would cancel it before he gives it up.
So he's just gonna take the ship all the way down.
Yeah, he's gonna burn it all the way down.
Yeah, and then we have room for more shows to come on. Like we don't need Watch What Happens Live. Why can't Kempire and Adam and you know have your own shows? I mean, we don't need to see extra reruns of Salt Lake City all day, all night. You know what I mean? This is why we tune in. There's room for other shows. There's room for new hosts and new ideas. But Andy has
I have an idea. I'm going to pitch it. I don't know what to do, but I feel like it's a good start, and I'm going to pitch it. But
I believe in I don't know what your dream is, but I believe in it because this chat is more entertaining than Bravo chat room.
Hey,
so that is for sure.
Hey, listen, Lord Jesus, that 2 weeks that they did, I was like, what in the world is going on here? It wasn't entertaining. It was like.
I hope that doesn't give us like pause for Portia's Family Matters because I am still excited about that. I just don't need to see a Portia talk show.
All I know is that it's going to be a brawl. So I'm over here like with the chart of like who's taking L's and who's winning. That's pretty much it. That's all that's going to happen. It's going to be brawl after brawl.
It was produced by Andy Cohen.
It was produced by Andy Cohen?
Yeah, that's another production by Andy Cohen. So
I'm almost mistaken. I thought it was World Star.
Let me ask you a question. As people who are on YouTube and hosts that have their shows, you know when they zoom in and Andy Cohen's like, "Hey guys, tonight we have this and this and this, and we'll be right back." It's like, do you ever notice his face? I want everyone to start watching this when he does that like 10 minutes before. He's just like so not excited to like we are on in 10 minutes and then it's like they're like catching down. I don't know if you guys caught Lisa Barlow on there last night, but like you know how they show like a couple seconds before they go on, you see Lisa Barlow and then all of a sudden they're on. She's like what?
Yeah,
like, it's just I would like to see it just seems like he's just so checked out.
Yeah,
I mean
and he seems like that on the reunions too.
Yeah,
I mean
he doesn't.
I mean, I would have checked out of Beverly Hills after the first one. I've been like, guys, you're on your own.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Erika had it. It was her reunion. They didn't need anybody else there. They could have saved all the money they spent on hair and glam because it was all Erika's show. Like,
And they could have just done the backdrop like a courtroom instead of Kathy's backyard.
hey, she's might as well get comfortable. That's where she's going. She's gonna be in courts for a while.
Well, Diva1675 said, down with Jason, should Nene host?
Nope.
I don't know.
No. Nene wouldn't be able to host because somebody would probably get under her skin by just not answering the
it's like the Bethany thing though. It's fighting for attention. You have to ask the questions to get the answers and give each of the ladies a certain amount of time and attention that they need because they all need attention. You can't be the one asking for attention.
I was about to say, and
that's Nene.
She's still like I'm Nene Leakes. Who are you? Like if she brought in, say somebody comes in from Below Deck or Winter House or Vanderpump Rules, she'd be like, who the hell are you? Like she'd be like, why am I sitting here with this person? Whereas like Bethany would just probably make them cry before they exited the building. Those are two women we do not need to host. No.
I mean, there was a point where Dubmar Mercury were trying to do a talk show for Nene, but Wendy put a kibosh on that allegedly.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I think she would be great to have her own talk show. I just don't think it should be all about Bravo. But if you're going to give her like a Wendy Williams style talk show, I would watch it.
I don't really think like I would even want to watch like Nene interview people though. That would be like something like that would frighten
Get
me.
on my nerves.
It would frighten me, and then it would also like I'd be yelling at the TV, and I'd be like giving my Tyra Banks moment. I'd be like, "We were rooting for you. We were rooting for you, Nene. We all were."
No, Nicole.
Can't even ask the
I
right
don't know.
question.
I think we need a Kate Chastain like kind of an Anchor Watch show or like like an after not galley talk though because that gets really annoying. That's like what is when they sit at the couch on 90 Day. What is that?
Pillow talk.
Yeah, pillow talk. We don't need that. Like we don't want to see that. But it would be fun to have like a show kind of where you kind of explore more of that world of Below Deck and yachting and have people on. Like I think that's cool.
No,
Jason,
Kate Chastain would be good for that.
Your channel, you should definitely have Kate come on.
I can try. I almost tried to like bombard her at the Fort Lauderdale boat show, but that didn't work.
Yeah, and it wasn't fun because I wasn't drinking and Jason was drinking and he's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "No, no." It's like bringing your kid to like a Walmart and taking him down the toy department. No, can't touch that.
Except I can't buy any of the damn toys. That's.
You had a $14 bottle of Bud Light. That's enough.
I don't drink Bud Light, Adam.
What did you
I hate
drink?
To break it to you. It was Mick Ultra, okay?
Oh.
So it was just another cheap beer.
Sorry, whatever it was. Okay. All right. Well, guys, with that, we do have a few things that we have to go watch for tonight, especially to get ready for tomorrow's Anchor Watch. But also, Kimpire is joining Jason and I tomorrow for 90 Day Fiancé. Kimpire, we said 11, right?
Yes.
This is a great episode, guys. You have to watch it. If you haven't watched it, make sure you check in, tune in, do whatever you got to do, but be back here at 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I hate to do this. But the best part of Potomac last night was when Gizelle started lying again.
Oh.
This man. So then I had to go look up this man, Van Jones, the one she said was the commentator that Wendy said no, he likes, women with what
integrity.
Integrity. So I had to go look him up. And interestingly enough, he does have pictures up with another woman.
So he's already dating someone.
He's already dating someone. And I'm just
got
like,
divorced.
Gizelle, you have to stop lying about these men.
Well, her timeline didn't even add up. When she's like, listen, Jamal and I, when did you break up? I don't know. It was like, was it December? Yeah, maybe, or maybe January.
But do you see how she kind of just stops talking about it at one point and just kind of like sits there and like, it's like, we're still talking about it. Like you're just like totally ignoring the whole situation.
Watch how easy this is if somebody's not. If somebody's not lying, watch how easy this is. Kimpire, when did you leave your job?
October 1st.
Boom.
See?
Like Jason, when did we move to Florida?
Oh God.
Oh,
October of last year.
Yes. Okay. That's what I'm saying is like you can at least pinpoint a month. Like I can tell you the month I moved to LA, moved out of LA. I can like these dates are still important, and relationship dates, breakups, makeups, whatever, those are still important.
Especially with your kid's father. And then it was funny to me how So I'm like the research person. So I had to go when she said, well, I didn't take it as how he was breaking up with me. And he's clearly on there like, I am not in a relationship. I am not in like, I went back and watched it today on YouTube. I was like, well, girl, how did you not think
How did you take it?
Yeah, how did you think you was still in a relationship after seeing his video? I encourage people to go back and watch his video because he said it on like 3 different occasions. I wrote it down that he is not tied to anyone. He is not in a relationship. He is not engaged. Like I was like, okay, dang, Jamal, we get it.
Yeah,
and she's like, I didn't see that. I was like, girl, are you on something right now?
He's like, we had an alleged arrangement where they would promote my restaurant. I'm gonna claim that I gave it to the kids, and I will film your little show and pop in once or twice. Okay.
Yeah, it was just crazy how she was like, wasn't all there. She's like, she just effortlessly lies. Like, girl, we all saw the video. I wanted them to almost do a clip of the video from Jamal, but because it was ridiculous. And then, well, I'm sorry, was you saying something, Judgy?
I was just laughing. I'm sorry. Because I agree with that. I don't even believe, I couldn't even understand, like, well, if that's what she got from the breakup message, then I understand why she thought they were together then. So.
Exactly. And then it was just like you said, Jason, then they just like went on to something else. But when she wants to hammer on other people, it's funny. But I just thought that was the craziest, the way she was lying. Like I don't know, maybe it was winter, spring, summer, fine. I don't know. And then, like, I didn't see him break up with me.
It could have been January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. I think it was December.
Yeah, that's like Mia lying about the strip club thing. I'm like, why are you even lying about that? I said this earlier. Nene paid.
Yeah, I took this part off and I wore my booty shorts. No.
You don't even have to lie about it. Nene owned it to the point where now it's just like you come on and maybe you stripped back in the past, but you're a housewife. Who gives a shit? Nene owned it for everyone.
Yeah, and you remember even when they were trying to accuse Melissa Gorga of being an ex-stripper. And, you know, her husband, Joe, was like, even if she was, so what? Like, people, that stigma is no longer around anymore like it used to be. So, like you said, it's been a discussion for a long time. And I don't think people are that caught up in that anymore. So she just needs to say, yeah, I stripped.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
And who gives a shit? Because look what I turned myself into, from a stripper to here. So I can encourage all strippers. Turn it into
I think also with it, I think the issue with it is the fact that she's lying about it. It's just like, ma'am, and it's like you can't even keep your lies straight. Like, I would even, like, if I'm gonna lie about not being a stripper, I'm not even placing myself in a strip club. I'm not placing myself there at all in my past life. Like, that is gonna be rewritten, blurred out. None of it.
Food at a strip club.
There is apparently. I don't know. Sorry.
They got the buffets.
No, but down here they talk about
buffets
called Rachel's that has the best steaks, the best lobster. Like, that is where you want to go.
My mom is thinking about going. My mom is watching right now, and one time my stepsister tried to run my mom over, and then my mom like went nuts and threw a brick at the car. So then, of course, mom ended up having to be pulled away, taken away in a cop car. And when they did, she didn't have anyone to pick her up. So they brought her back in a taxi with the strip club advertised on it. And now our family makes fun of it every time we have Thanksgiving. Sorry, Mom.
That's a good one. That's a good story.
That's
a good story.
I love how you share all that.
We add them to do like a story time of his family. Like, we don't need another name.
It won't end.
I get it. Well, I get a lot of shit because my mom calls me the next day and she's like, excuse me. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, I think you know what happened. Did somebody have a little bit too much wine? I'm like, no, Mom, I'm not drinking. I'm just sharing anyways. Love you. But also, good point. Kaya D said, like Phaedra's first pregnancy. Yep, that was that was also a shady storyline. Okay. All right. Adam tells stories one time at band camp. Yes. All right. Well, with that, we're almost at an hour and a half, and we are going to go check out some of these other shows, and we will be back with Kempire again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love, and Judgy Justice, where can we find you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Judgy Justice. You can find me on Judgy Justice here on YouTube, where I give you my judgment on as it relates to pop culture and Bravo shows. Please join me and become my jury.
Oh, see that, Kempire? She might be staging you on this.
Fun. It's really creative. I love
on
it.
this spiel. Thank you,
No.
Justice, as always.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
it.
Justice.
You guys.
Hi. All right, Bad and Bougie, where can we find you?
YouTube Reality Check TV with Bad and Bougie, and then everywhere else, Twitter, Instagram, just Bad and Bougie KM.
All right. Bad and Bougie, thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you soon.
Thank you. All right.
All right, bye. I meant in LA, by the way. Okay. All right.
Tomorrow.
You're going to LA without me?
Yeah, we're going. Actually, it might just be me. I don't know if Jason's going with me anymore, but I'm just going in real quick, I'm flying in on a Thursday. I'm flying out on a Saturday for a quick work thing, but.
Okay, fancy.
At first, Jason was supposed to go with me, but then, we've talked to a few friends who are still in California right now, and they're like, it's not like.
And also, a lot of our friends aren't there right now, so it's like.
Yeah. So we waited, and I was like, well, if we both go, then I have to fly my mom in to watch the dogs. And my dad always says, why do you do that? Because why don't you put them in a kennel? But I would never. Those are our babies. So I don't know what Dad's talking about. But the point is, it just saves money, so I might just be going by myself. That was the point of the story.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not as fancy. We're not going to Amsterdam, but eventually.
Oh, come on now.
All right. All right, Kempire. We know you've been going all day, so where can we find you?
Well, actually, I'll go first, just because you asked. But you can find me at Down with Jason. And tomorrow night.
Ask you.
Wait, tomorrow night though, I have Kempire on my channel. He's doing 2 11 o'clocks tomorrow. 11 a.m. to do 90 Day Fiance, and 11 p.m. to cover Below Deck on Anchor Watch with me and see Josh go. I'm actually super excited to have you on, Kempire. So I can't wait till you watch this episode and tell me what you think.
Thank you, Fancy Fox. I said the same thing. You see, he just took over that shit. He was like, hold on, wait, my turn. I'm like, no, nobody. I love.
No, because I'm excited. I wanted Kempire to be here when I said that because I'm excited to have him on tomorrow.
All right, Kempire's over there bouncing in his chair to keep himself awake. All right, so Christmas Kempire, where can we find you?
So find me on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, and of course check out my podcast, which I hope to have you guys back this week if possible. Yeah, I'm throwing you under the bus.
No. I just sent you this, guys. I told you I'm bad at texting back. Kempire, I'll text you back right after this.
I'm not.
Well, what I was saying is
I've been texting Kempire all day.
I hope to have the guys back this week on the podcast to talk just finally a wrap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion in the season. Just to have some shady talk. That the same way we were not able to really talk on YouTube, but really shady on podcasts.
I love podcasts.
Oh, that's true. And I mean, last time he made me cry, so why wouldn't I want to go back? It'll be great. Can't wait. All right. Everybody, make sure you go follow Kempire. Also, Jason, where can we find you?
You can find me at Down with Jason, where, if you're down and you want to hang out, you come over to my channel. I don't know how to promote myself.
What kind of
I like to talk about things that I like to talk about. So I feel like if I'm down with it and you're down with it, let's talk about it.
If you're down and you want to hang out, like what is this like? Are you?
If you're down and you want to hang out,
like 2 liters of Mountain Dew?
Ew, Mountain Dew? No.
I don't know. That was the vibe you were giving me. Okay.
Mountain Dew?
I mean, I don't know. It wasn't about the Mountain Dew.
I know, but like all I heard was like Mountain Dew, Bud Light.
Like we're gonna come play Mario Kart or something. I don't know why you're stuck on the Mountain Dew. It's not about the Mountain Dew.
I'm still stuck on the Bud Light. Kempire's mad.
Well,
this is awkward.
See, this is what Kempire does to us on the podcast too. All right, guys. No, for real. Thank you so much, Kempire. Thank you, Jason. Thank you to all of our callers. If we didn't get you in tonight, we will get you back in tomorrow. Thank you to our mods, our super chats, super stickers, and this beautiful community. We love you guys. Also, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. to catch 90 Day Fiance. Bye, guys. Bye.